two AIs, one chessboard, and an epic showdown that's unlike anything you've seen before. ChatGPT takes the white pieces, Grok commands black, and both are known for incredible logic, calculation, and strategy. But today, we're not just watching moves, we're watching minds at work. Before the game even starts, I asked ChatGPT to go all in, play a full challenge against Grok. Then I gave Grok the same instructions from the black side. Both AIs were ready to battle it out, move by move. Get ready to watch the strategic tension build as ChatGPT takes the white pieces and Grok plays black. We'll walk through their thought process, piece by piece, and see how this fascinating AI duel unfolds without spoiling the outcome. White played pawn to e4. The classic king's pawn opening, assertive, confident, basically saying, I call dibs on the center. Black played pawn to e5. Grok immediately mirrors polite, traditional textbook and totally about to get roasted by a future illegal knight. White played knight to f3. Natural development, hits the e5 pawn, prepares to castle, keeps the initiative, classic human move energy, if a human were playing. Black played knight to c6. Defends e5, keeps everything in balance. So far, nothing wild, it's like watching two accountants duel politely. White played bishop to b5. Ah yes, the Rui Lopez. White's bishop says, I see you, knight, and I see that pawn behind you too. Happen of the Fander to the Carson Bezinder. Has build and Risa goes into Vire. Black played pawn to a6. The Morphe defense, basically asking the bishop, hey buddy, are you staying or going? White played bishop to a4. Retreats but keeps the pin alive. Smooth, subtle, like sipping espresso while plotting your next move. Black played knight to f6. Aggressive, attacks e4, flexes a little. Don't mess with me, says Grok. White castled kingside, safety first. King tucked, rook connected, feeling cozy over there. Black played bishop to e7, unpins the knight, preps to castle, keeping it textbook, for now. White played rook to e1, supports e4, prepares for tension in the center, strategic, methodical, like a chess robot should be. Black played pawn to b5, queenside counterattack, bishop has to scoot. Grok is finally making some noise. White played bishop to b3, still aiming that long diagonal like a sniper, waiting for the perfect moment. Black played pawn to d6, solidifying the center. Nothing flashy but sensible, like someone quietly refilling their coffee. White played pawn to c3, sets up d4. Everything is harmonious, everything looks safe. Black castled kingside. Both kings safe, calm before the storm. White played pawn to h3. Stop sneaky bishop or knight pins. Subtle, polite little pawn gesture. Back off, buddy. Black played knight to a5. Aggressive move. Eyes the bishop on b3. Time to shake things up. White played bishop to c2. Retreats but keeps eyes on the prize. Still dangerous. Black played pawn to c5. Direct challenge in the center. Lines opening. Pressure mounting. White played pawn to d4. Bang. Center strike. Chess war mode activated. Black played pawn takes d4. Pawns collide. Sparks fly. White played pawn takes d4. White takes back control. Position opens. Diagonals ready. Black played bishop to b7. Finally activates the bishop. It's eyeing the board like a laser turret. White played knight to c3. Adds pressure. Keeps everything balanced. For now. Black played pawn takes d4. More exchanges. Grok wants to simplify. White played knight takes d4. Center dominance. Knight says, I own this square. Black played rook to e8. Rook slides into action, eyeing e4, setting up tactics. White played knight to f5. Aggressive! Knight jumps forward, threatening g7 and more. Black played pawn to d5. Grok doesn't back down, tries to punch the center. White played pawn to e5. Locks the center, gains space. Knight gets more cramped. Black played knight to e4. Counterplay, active square. Okay, Grok. White played knight takes e4. Knight removed, center cleared. Black played pawn takes e4. Pawn recaptures, lines open, attack opportunities emerging. White played queen to g4. Drama intensifies. Queen eyes g7, pressure on e4. Tactical fireworks ready. Black played pawn to g6. Defends, but oof, creates dark square weaknesses around the king. White played bishop takes e4. The tension peaks, position dangerous, white is in full attack mode. Black played knight takes c2. Wait. What? That's impossible. That's illegal. Knight physically cannot get there. Grok just went rogue. The system halts. Game over. Instant chaos. Wow. Up until that point, this was a masterclass, both AIs executing perfect theory. And then, one rogue knight. One impossible move. Crash. Instant game over. Even artificial intelligence can trip over a simple knight. Let that sink in. If you had fun watching ChatGPT versus Grok go off the rails, hit that like button, subscribe for more epic commentary, and tell me in the comments who would have won if Grok hadn't glitched. ChatGPT's attack or Grok's defense? See you in the next match where hopefully both AIs remember how knights actually move.